Bye. This is a series of levels related to pranking, joking, and doing a little tomfoolery. There is a lot of these so-called troll levels, from the old to the new, from the expected to the absurdly stupid. So let's go through all of them that are actually troll levels, like that thing staring at you in the mirror right now. Starting off with the ancient days of mono audio being the norm. Stereo Troll is the first in a long line of memory troll levels that were mainly made by Defectum. This guy is basically the LeBron James of pranking levels. I actually beat all of these, so unlike some of the later entries, I actually have some depth to go into here. A lot of these levels are underrated, meaning the in-game difficulty is a troll hee-hee-ha-hee-ha-hee-ho. This is actually one of the rare cases where that's not the case at all. Though going into this level thinking you'll sight read it is a tall fucking order, I'll tell you that much. This level is honestly quite impressive for the time. The memory is well made, and it feels mostly fair to play after some practice time. That largely goes for the entire level trend too, by the way. My favorite part has to be the skipping of the cube portal right here by holding onto the ceiling like a magnet with the ship. I don't know why, this one just, it's cool. It's creative. Good job, Defectum. The next levels by Defectum are a little bit harder, so let's just get back on troll for the next entry. This one is disliked, but besides that, it's just as well made and fair as Stereo Troll. This is one of the underrated ones. This one would be around medium demon difficulty, making it a tier 3. Some of the timings of the pre-drop are quite rough, but after learning it, the second half is at least very doable, so when you get past the first half a couple times, you'll be mostly good to go. This level really doesn't put down the back on track hardest level in the game allegations though. A lot of the next entries are also underrated, by the way, though most of them at least don't butcher the name of the level. Like, come on, dude. Trollgeist? Trollergeist was right there, man. So much better! Disappointment is a cruel mistress. Despite the butchering of the name, the rest of the level is still the nice quality medium demon gameplay of its predecessor. In fact, Trollgeist and Back on Troll are basically the same difficulty. This one in particular has some really tough timings for a straight memory level though I'd say this one is a bit easier to memorize, making them very equal in difficulty. The fact that there are timings here, some of them are pretty awkward, makes this probably the worst of the first 3 troll levels, but it is still quite a quality creation of the Cretaceous period. A similar thing can be said for Trollout, which is very much on par with Trollgeist. The one thing I did not mention yet is the new ways that Defectum makes trolls in every level so far. With this one in particular, using invisible fading blocks a lot more than the previous ones, making it at points way easier to sight read and learn. This would have probably been my favorite and the best of these troll levels if it wasn't for this fucking shit part, dude. This part is just abysmal. Sometimes cooking in the dark just makes you miss the entire stove, and when you turn the lights on, you realize you were putting all of your lasagna in the sink instead. There goes your dinner. Mind you that these all get progressively slightly harder, with the climax of difficulty in the underrated non-demon troll levels being troll after troll. Despite the fucking fantastic level name, this is probably the worst one yet. Who could have guessed? Increase in difficulty, decrease in quality. It's literally been that way every single level so far. The issues in this one are hopefully quite apparent, as the troll that came after another troll got a very messy and very needed 2.0 update, adding plenty of invisible gameplay to spice up the gameplay. In a level like this, adding a 2.0 update kind of feels like putting spice on a Carolina Reaper, more than just making the gameplay more interesting, you know? It's just, we did not need this. The difference might seem small at first, but if we compare an invisible object in, for example, Trollgeist to an invisible object here, you can see the difference it makes when playing. Trollgeist has these dots that function as perhaps unintended but very nice visual indicators of a trolly troll haha coming up, which Troll After Troll removes entirely. This makes it much more frustrating to learn and play, especially without Hitbox Viewer. The update also added quite some annoying timings in mostly the first half, making this one a tier 4 underrated instead of the previous 3's tier 3 underrated. That being said, these are still almost all medium demon difficulty, so it doesn't matter that much, honestly. The hardest one of the Defectum troll levels is not this one though, as we have 98% Troll over here taking that role. Can't Let Troll has similar issues to Troll After Troll with the invisible bullshit angle. This one does actually get away with it a bit more because it's actually rated demon in-game, unlike the previous ones. On top of that is that this is another one of the dislike levels, meaning that good faith casual players will never ever encounter this. With all of that out of the way, I still genuinely think this is the worst one, due to some unintentionally annoying bullshit timings in the pre-drop, like like the first jump, and this deceptive ass fake blue orb that you die to when you get even remotely close to it due to a shitty hitbox job. It's like politics. If this is the only Defectum troll level you have done and you liked it, I'd suggest checking out the non-demon ones too. They are to me much better and don't have nearly the same amount of what the fuck did I die to isms as Can't Let Troll has. Wow, that sure as shit was a Defectum decathlon, if I've ever seen one. But we aren't quite done with the main level remakes, as we have Jumper Troll coming up next. This is just a really terrible looking and okay-ish playing harder level from the fucking prehistoric period. What does this even have to do with trolling? Was the fact that I was expecting trolls going into it the troll part of your troll level? That's not a troll! Like, there's not one fake in this shit. What gives? Let's just go on to the most prevalent Defectum demake instead, because this shit is just frustrating. Not being Troll Machine. No, not that one. It's a tier 1 underrated 9-star, meaning around Easy Demon. That functions as a memory version of Time Machine. Wow, what the fuck else was it? Though it functions as such, it does a pretty pitiful job due to it completely giving up in the second half, which is just normal Time Machine. But you have to take the coin route, so ooh! The first half isn't even that bad. Honestly, it's quite fun to play, so I don't know why this wasn't just fully troll, but whatever, I guess laziness wins some days. The final main level troll level is Theory of Troll, and this is straight up, no discussion, the worst one by a mile. Originally posted to Defectum's account, or so I assume, I don't care. This is another dislike troll level referring to the Robert Topala creations. We skipped over some Robbie Toppy levels, but we don't talk about boring bullshit like cycles or X-Step on this channel anyway, so that's convenient. Theory of Troll honestly only has 2 parts of note, that being the things that make it infamous. The ship and the UFO, with the ship being the worst offender. What the fuck are these gaps doing here? This is an insane demon, not a top 5. Most of this level besides the ship and UFO is just theory of everything with slightly harder gameplay here and there and the obligatory memory. This is just not worth playing, honestly, but if you want to finish the entire series, you sadly kinda have to. Theory of Troll is also the hardest troll level we have talked about so far, being a mid-tier insane demon. The easiest one, with gameplay that is, goes to Troll Phase LOL. Somehow this level had the object record at one point. This! Of all levels on the server, the one that's just one stolen design from a funny game level and vibe-printed all over the place. What? This is quite possibly the dumbest level ever made, which is why someone removed the spaces in the name and made gameplay for it. How nice of you. This is the first instance of this fuck-ass song in the Troll series, so just take a listen so that you know what I'm talking about here.
You've been trolled, yes, you've probably been told.
You're gonna have to know all the lyrics for Spanish class next week, so pay some fucking attention! There honestly isn't that much to talk about this basic-ass level that just spams the iconic 2010 meme everywhere, so let's just move on to the quadrilogy of levels called You've Been Trolled. They use, guess what song? Wow, what a surprise! This is also kind of funny because they're all spelled the same way, but all are capitalized differently, aside from 2. This one that we're talking about first is all caps for some fucking reason, and it's probably the most iconic of the 4. This ridiculous joke level that used to be daily, by the way, is basically a memory challenge, not dissimilar to the Defectum Troll series. This one is more bullshit, however, with some really annoying and unsight-readable memory gameplay being the main reason for that. It is admittedly a quirky gimmick level that takes proper use of the song, unlike the non-demon You've Been Trolled, that is not the memory level. This one is very dull and boring for the most part, except for the ending being a funny look at that going down to it. Either way, I'm gonna use my Can't Be Asked card to say that I can't be asked to talk about something this boring. The most iconic levels using the song, though, are probably the 2 auto levels called You've Been Trolled. Aside from maybe the full caps one, you could make the argument, whatever. One of them is a joke musical video about being trolled, and the other one is a constant battle for Xanax as your anxiety skyrockets. Both have a place, I guess, but neither are that interesting to talk about in a video like this, despite the fact that they generate so many views. Holy shit. That being said, there is another very boring troll level, that being the Trollge. There's also a very famous one that's not rated, but I'm not talking about that because no stars equals no attention equals no video. This boring ass modern level is barely a troll level, but it has troll in the name and a bunch of bullshit in the background, so we'll count it, I guess. The second exposed victim level is as boring as the first, but this next level is at least not a troll. This completely serious level is called This Is Not a Troll, and it plays like a Mario Maker troll level. The gimmick is fun, well executed, and unique. There's actually videos of every single possible fail that you should check out if you're interested. The level looks like a level, yeah. Honestly, it kind of looks like What If GD but Mario Maker, which I think is a good thing. In general, the vibe and aesthetic I feel like are pretty well done on this one. It feels like a big tomfoolery fest. Oh, don't softlock, fun. This level honestly kind of rules. Just like Trollabay Basic 7. Nah, this is literally, I'm using this level as like a channel plug.
Sure, yeah, this is definitely a channel plug.
Because I'm like, if you want me to talk about the Dorabay basic levels, for example, or any other trend, leave it in the comments down below. While you're down there, like and subscribe to the Wild Seal on YouTube and ring-a-ding that bell. Onto the last three. These are the Extreme Demon Troll levels. The most iconic and intimidating of all of them. Starting with Troll level. That sentence sounded fucking stupid. Picking your own path, trolling the level, and memorizing the route are all names of the game in this fun-looking beginner tier Extreme Demon, with all of the faces and colors making me feel like a Discord troll from the inside. I haven't beaten this level by any means, but I definitely will sometime in the near future. Gameplay-wise, this thing has a pretty split reputation. Partially because it's very hard to learn, partially because of some choke points, and partially because some star grinders actually had to spend more than 10 seconds on a level for once. Poor things. I feel so bad for them. Either way, the second of this epic trilogy is Troll Machine, another level I have not beaten. This is an intense case of mistaken identity, though I'd say this one is probably slightly better than the old ass one because it's finished. The intense and sarcastic atmosphere in this level is impressive, though I myself more so like the more playful levels. I feel like this has a very niche and good place when it comes to the troll levels. The fact that this is an actually interesting effect layout too is insane. But the final level we have for you today is not just iconic and epic, but so much more. We have, as the grand trolling finale, Five Nights at Troll. This is easily one of the greatest levels ever released, and Update 2.2 has shown that going down after adding more features is still possible. Oh my god, we could never make this today. Every other Five Nights at Freddy's level that came out in 2.2 or 2.1 pale in comparison to this absolute masterpiece. This also, it's perfect. It even has a fantastic song to boot. Imagine trying to one-up such an unfiltered masterpiece with such amazing level design, color work, and name spelling. Beautiful. I could never even imagine trying to make something better than this, man. Absolute masterpiece in every sense of the word. Well, that was quite the fat green creature, if I have to say so myself. Trolling is a pastime that we all partake in every now and then. Plus, it generates a fuckload of YouTube Shorts money for those pathetic enough to be like a goblin and generate an infinite load of cash through this meme. If you enjoyed this deep dive into trolling, you might also enjoy this playlist of every major GD trend I've talked about so far. Will this be the most tomfoolery ever found in GD, or will more notable trends overtake its title? Well, that's for next time.